What's up everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. On the last part, we started a brand new scenario where the humans actually became a lot stronger, surprisingly due to an idea from an enemy. After seeing what Dr. Gero did, they decided they should use his technology and his research for good. What if they were able to make themselves androids instead? Thankfully, with Bulma there, this was a possibility. And in order to protect Earth and make themselves stronger, the humans went ahead and became androids. But this also did have some other effects. Besides just making the humans stronger, it means Goku's gonna stay dead. And it affects fighters like Vegeta, Gohan, and Piccolo as well. We'll be seeing more of that in this part. For this video, let's set a like goal of 3,500 likes. Once we hit that, I'll continue with another part of this series. Anyways, let's pick up from here. So as we left off in the last part, everyone is going to do their own training. In terms of Yamcha, Chaozu, and Krillin, they end up going to King Kai. This will actually work out pretty well for them. They know King Kai's got some great training in store, especially after seeing what he did with Goku. And now with their android powers, this should make it a lot better for them too. Specifically, the one thing that they want to try and train for is Kaioken. They know it could be very beneficial for them. And unlike something like Super Saiyan, this is a power of Goku's that they've seen and can access. And unlike Goku, they actually do have an advantage. Not only are they much stronger than Goku when he first learned Kaioken, but also, they have been here with King Kai before. It isn't their first time seeing him. Plus, since they're androids, Kaioken would actually work way better for them than anyone else. Just think about it. Kaioken is very draining in terms of stamina, and it literally tears your body apart if you use it at too high of a level for too long. For these three, it would still be cause for concern in some ways. But since they have infinite energy, they don't need to be worried about Kaioken making them tired. Plus, once they're upgraded to be androids, their bodies became a lot stronger too, being reinforced by different materials within them. They didn't just get stronger in terms of their training and ki, but their bodies physically became stronger, even if they have their ki dropped. Of course, Kaioken still can't injure their body if they use it for too long at too high of a level. But the effects are a bit mitigated by them being androids, especially because it's not draining in terms of stamina. All of this combined basically means that right off the bat, they could use Kaioken and learn it really quickly. They just need to build up more of a resistance. 50 times Kaioken is actually pretty realistic for them at this point, and it's something that they could learn pretty quickly. Lower levels of Kaioken would be very easy to pull off, especially thanks to all their training beforehand and their android body. So at the moment, they could use pretty much anything up to times 50, even going to times 100 if they need, although that's a bit more strenuous. But again, there's no worry for stamina drain. They mainly just have to focus on making Kaioken not injure themselves. And once they figure out a way to do that, they'll be able to ascend to even higher levels. King Kai is amazed when he sees all this. It's not the first person he's seen use Kaioken, obviously. But these people are the first that are actually using it this efficiently. If they had regeneration like Piccolo, it would be a very different story and they'd basically be able to max this out to way higher levels than what they are right now. But still, this is great. And obviously they're not the only ones training. Let's actually go back to Earth for a bit. Vegeta's actually training more and more. Obviously he'd be training regardless, but with all that's happened so far in the scenario, he's even more motivated than before. At the moment, he's actually pretty much the strongest person on Earth, which of course gives him a nice ego boost, but still, there's two huge issues with that. One, he knows Kakarot is still stronger than him. When he fought Kakarot before, he was so much more powerful. As we saw, Goku was still training in Otherworld and got some brand new powers. Specifically Super Saiyan 3, which Vegeta wanted to try and learn for himself. But also, everyone else is getting stronger at such a rapid rate. Even though Vegeta might be the strongest person alive right now, he doesn't feel that way. He needs to surpass Kakarot. But also he needs to stay ahead of the humans, and he has a great idea of how to do that. Besides just getting Super Saiyan 3, he needs a training partner, someone strong, someone that's built like him, and someone who he could work off of in terms of strategy and power. He found the perfect person for that. It's Gohan. Of course, Gohan's been slacking on training a bit. Not as much as he did in the main story, but still, he is kind of slacking here. But Vegeta sees such great potential in him, he even said so in the main series. And if he were to train with Gohan, imagine the great things that they could do together. He proposes this idea. Just think about it. These two are the strongest Saiyans left on Earth. The only way they'll access new powers is if they work together. As Saiyans, they function similarly. Sure, Gohan has greater potential, but at the core of it, their transformations are pretty much the same. Gohan's also pretty smart too, both in battle smarts and academic smarts. Combine that with Vegeta's dedication and great strategy, and you'll have an incredibly efficient and powerful duo there. It takes a bit of convincing, but Gohan ends up joining Vegeta. He's right. Everyone needs to be as strong as possible in case something bad happens to Earth. I mean, look what almost happened with Boo. If any other threat arrives in the future, they need to be at peak performance. And not only that, but a stronger Saiyaman would be a lot cooler too. This will not only help him protect the people close to him, but the entire Earth as well. Oh yeah, and there's an added bonus with this. Piccolo joins in on the training too, since he mostly works with Gohan anyways. The three of them stick together as Vegeta tries to figure out Super Saiyan 3. And eventually both he and Gohan access this. But they immediately come to see that there's some glaring flaws with it. It's great for some short bursts in power, but beyond that, it's not really usable in long battles, and they need to figure out a way around that. Gohan says they did it with regular Super Saiyan before. Maybe they could find a workaround for this, make it more efficient and get rid of the Ki Leak. But we're forgetting someone. What's happening with Tenshinhan? As discussed last time, he ended up going with Shin and Kibito for their training. He felt like this would be a better course for him. Sure, he knows Kinkai's training would have been very valuable regardless, but still, training with the Supreme Kai instead sounds way more thrilling. And who knows, maybe he could pick up some crazy powers there, some sort of ultimate ability that'll be his own. And while they're there, Shin actually knows something interesting. Well, it's pretty obvious too. Why does he have 3 eyes? And in this scenario, I'm going to try something to make things a bit more interesting. Yes, I know there's a lot of conflicting sources about this, and a lot of them point towards the eye being a spiritual sort of awakening, but I'm going to use some of the other explanations and say that Tenshinhan's actually part alien, making it very diluted in his blood, but still there. And Shin thinks this is pretty fascinating. He's part Triclops. Unlike the other Earthlings, he might actually have a great advantage. Since he's part alien, not only would he have greater potential, but maybe he could access powers that other people can't use, certain forms or techniques specific to him. I mean, he already has some of them. He has his 3rd eye, and he's used the 4 Witches technique which no one else has copied. Just as Saiyans have their own forms, maybe he'll have his own. But they're gonna have to train a lot more for that. Thankfully, he's able to pull out the Z-Sword, and that's what he does most of his training with. It's weird, he never really expected to fight with the sword, but this seems pretty powerful, and it's a great way to train himself. He gets more discipline and strength from this. And also, the Kais can teach more than beyond just power. They have some pretty great techniques, specifically magical techniques, and Ten's interested in this. Learning magic would be a huge help in battle. If he learned how to use magic and was able to use it strategically, it could change the tide of any battle. Plus, there's other valuable things he could learn, such as the Kai Kai. Being able to teleport instantaneously like Goku does, that would be great. But he still has a long way to go before he does that. He seems really motivated, and Shin and Kibito like having him as a student. He's very disciplined, and although he was very misguided in the past, he's definitely much more good at heart now than he was then. Maybe this guy could be a student of theirs, a full-time apprentice if anything. It changes Kibito's views on morals completely. I mean, he already saw them on Earth and saw them in action, but this one's acting so disciplined and respectful, and his power and strategy in battle is amazing. Maybe it would be a good idea to take him under their wing. All of this training continues, up until the arrival of a brand new character. At some point, Beerus eventually awakens from his nap, and he has some pretty interesting thoughts in his mind. Besides just having that dream about the Super Saiyan God, he heard something about Shin from Whis. Apparently he's taken on a student. They're training some guy from Earth to be the next apprentice Kai. Really? An Earthling as a Supreme Kai? That's weird. He must be pretty special for them to train him. But still, the thing about the Super Saiyan God, he wants to pursue that dream. It might have been a prophecy of some sorts. Maybe he'll find a new rival. He needs to pursue this Super Saiyan God. Whether it's real or not, he just needs to know. And according to Whis, it seems like there are some Saiyans on Earth. No Super Saiyan gods that he knows of, but there are some strong Saiyans there. That would be his best chance at finding a Super Saiyan god, so he decides to go there. But first he makes a stop at the Sacred World of Kais, meeting the student of Shin. He's actually pretty impressed with Ten's powers. He's learned some great Kai techniques, and with the Z-Sword in hand, he's got a very powerful weapon too. But even with all that, he's still no match for Beerus. And Ten actually gets kind of worried about this, as do Shin and Kibito. The fact that Beerus is awake could spell some issues for everyone. Like, just think about it. Beerus is a pretty loose cannon as of now, and now he's going around trying to find a new rival, and apparently, the people that he's looking for are actually the people that are on Ten's home planet. He tells them what he's planning. He wants to find a Super Saiyan God, and he knows exactly where to go next. He asks Ten. He wouldn't happen to know of Vegeta or Gohan, would he? They seem to be the 2 strongest Saiyans at the moment, and as far as they know, 2 of the few Saiyans that are still alive actually. And Ten does know him. There's no point in lying to Beerus. He is going to end up going to Earth anyways. Well, that's perfect actually. Maybe Ten can go back to Earth with them, just to introduce everyone to Beerus. Well, Vegeta won't need any introduction, but as for everyone else, it'll be nice to have Ten there. Reluctantly, he goes along, and just to make things faster, Shin actually teleports everyone back to Earth. And obviously everyone's surprised to see Beerus arrive there, but more so, they're surprised to hear what he has to say. There's something called a Super Saiyan God, and that makes Vegeta very interested. He was a bit terrified when he saw Beerus here, but this might actually lead him to something special. He asks if Vegeta knows anything about the Super Saiyan God, and Vegeta's mood instantly changes. Damn, he thought Beerus was going to be the one to tell him about a Super Saiyan God, not ask about it. Vegeta tells Beerus that he doesn't know anything about it. So now, what are they supposed to do? Beerus isn't pissed off like he was originally, so it's not like they're pressed for time here, but Beerus does want to know about a Super Saiyan God. They could ask Shenron, but Whis has a better idea. Maybe he could do some research. There's definitely some places around the universe that have this documented somewhere. There's gotta be something he can consult. Whether it be using the Wish Orbs, whether it be going to Namek and using the Namekian Book of Legends, or going to Zuno even. Oh wait, that's a perfect idea. He does exactly that. He tells everyone he'll be right back. And after a few minutes, he returns, and has the info about what a Super Saiyan God is. Apparently, you could either do a ritual, or you need to train with access to God Ki for it. And obviously they're not going to be able to do the ritual. They don't have enough Saiyans for it. It's a shame too. If Goku were here, they would have exactly enough. And they could bring him back, but they already did bring him back for a day a while ago in the Buu Saga. Well, actually they don't know they have exactly enough, because Videl doesn't reveal she's pregnant, so they think it's a lost cause regardless, and instead, they decide they're going to go with the other option, training with God Ki. Maybe Vegeta could actually do that. And Beerus invites Gohan too. He seems strong, and if he has 2 Super Saiyan gods, that would be even better. But Gohan still has to stay here. He has a bunch of responsibilities on Earth and can't just go away. But that's fine. Vegeta's going to end up going with Beerus and Whis to train for Super Saiyan God. And meanwhile, everyone's going to continue everything else. And Vegeta's glad about this. This literally dropped right in his hands. It's just what he needed. A special kind of training for himself only, and he's going to unlock a new power that only he's going to have. He's going to be the #1 again. And no matter what danger comes their way, with the power of a Super Saiyan God, nothing will stop him. But interestingly enough, he's going to end up finding a new rival. Beerus actually wanted to do this because he wanted a student of his own. Once he saw that Shin had a student, he thought that would be a great idea if he had his own, even before he found out it was the key to getting a Super Saiyan God. With Vegeta as his student, not only is Vegeta going to get stronger, but Beerus is going to get bragging rights. Why is he doing this? Just because it's fun to be an ass to Shin. Well, partially. Mostly because it's mutually beneficial for everyone. And in a way, Vegeta's found a new rival in Tenshinhan. Both students of gods going down different paths. Vegeta knows what he's trying to access, but what's Ten going for? Unbeknownst to them, Earth is about to face a brand new threat. But even without them there, Earth should be okay. Consider who's still there. Krillin, Yamcha, and Chaozu are very close to Earth and can leave King Kai's planet whenever they want. And as for Gohan, he's right there on Earth. The plans for his revival are still in motion. And even without Vegeta and Tenshinhan there, they're still going to have people to defend Earth. As you'd probably expect, not much is going to change with his revival itself. His soldiers are going to go in, get the Dragon Balls and revive him, and Frieza's going to take a few months of training. And what's pretty funny to him is that Goku's already dead, so that's one less person to worry about. And it actually does get to his head a bit. That only leaves Vegeta and those pesky Earthlings. Maybe he doesn't need to train for 4 months. Maybe he can go for even less. And he'll take any excuse he can get. I mean, he hates training. If he's only fighting a few of them, he doesn't need to train for as long as he thought he did. But that mistake's definitely going to come back to bite him. And he sees that once he actually goes to Earth. By the time his army arrives, the only people they're defending are Gohan, Piccolo, and Roshi. And Jaco too, of course. The 3 humans that are with King Kai are going to be a bit late, but they'll be here in a few minutes or so. And this makes Frieza laugh. There's only a few of them defending. There's no way they're going to stand a chance. And against Frieza's army, it's pretty easy. Even though it's 4 versus dozens and dozens of soldiers, they win, and they win pretty effortlessly in fact. Alright, so that means Frieza just has to step up to the plate. And Gohan decides to take charge. He knows that Frieza's probably been alive for a while. He saw what happened before when someone summoned Shenron. And Gohan has a completely different plan in mind. Frieza's still in his first form, and simply, Gohan just transforms into Super Saiyan 3. Instantly eradicating Frieza, not even allowing him to fight back. Hold on, wait, isn't that just a bit anticlimactic? Well, yeah, kinda, but consider what this whole scenario is about. The whole reason everyone turned into androids is because they were worried about what's gonna happen to Earth. Without Goku there, they need to be really smart in defending Earth. It's the whole reason they wanted to become stronger. Same with Gohan and everyone else too. And yeah, they might be strong, but who knows how strong Frieza was? They're not gonna take that risk. It was a smart move to just eradicate him right away. Maybe they would have been able to fight him, but they don't know, and they didn't want to test that theory. They can't get too cocky. Their whole motive is trying to defend Earth and make themselves stronger, and that's going to be pointless if they just let someone get ahead because it would make for a better fight. They need to think smarter, and that's exactly what Gohan is doing here. But don't worry, even though Resurrection F might have been a bit anticlimactic, we'll be seeing a lot more things going forward. And let's just say things are going to get pretty crazy. We'll leave off here for now. So, what did you guys think about this part? And what do you think is going to happen next time? Leave any thoughts and suggestions in the comments below. I'll be sure to check them out and see what you guys think. As always, if you like the video, be sure to drop a like. And let's try to hit that like goal from the beginning of the video so we can get another part of this series. If you haven't already, why not subscribe? As well as hitting the bell icon so you're notified about any future parts of this What If or any other videos that I upload on my channel. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.